point out it's going to be very graphic. Have to point that out.
That's a crap way to go, man.
Brothers drowned teenage sister in swamp in honor killing, court hears. Syrian father allegedly ordered his sons to kill his 18-year-old daughter in Netherlands after discovering she had a boyfriend.
She had a boyfriend.
That's the issue. 2 Syrian brothers are on trial in the Netherlands accused of murdering their teenage sister over her Western behavior. Western behavior. Mohammed al-Najjar, 23, and his brother Muhannad, 25, are alleged to have gagged, bound, and thrown 18-year-old Rayan al-Najjar in a swamp after discovering she had a boyfriend, which prosecutors claim brought shame on the family.
That's seriously messed up, man. Because when you see honor killing, I mean, you could always shoot someone or that's like a long drawn out process. You know what I mean? They're grabbing her, gagging her, tying her up, and then taking her to the swamp. She knows what's happening that entire time. And being killed by drowning that's already bad enough, but she knows what's happening the entire time. And they know what's happening the entire time. This is their sister, and they're rolling with it.
Their father, Khalid, is accused of ordering the honor killing and has reportedly fled to Syria. Rayan's body was found submerged in a swamp 6 days after she disappeared from the family home in Jure. The discovery was made by a passerby on May 28 in Lelystad, around 25 miles northeast of Amsterdam. DNA belonging to her father was found lodged under Rayan's fingernails by investigators.
Dang.
Suggesting that
she was fighting back.
That she had
her father was involved.
Before she was killed. Her father is to be tried in absentia. So he's currently in Syria, but they're going to demand his, that he's sent to Netherlands, extradited. Dutch prosecutors have claimed that Rayan was killed for having a boyfriend, behaving in a way that was Western, and had shamed her family. Her killing has been formally designated as an honor killing by the Dutch Public Prosecution Service. The brothers plead their innocence and claim that their father murdered Rayan alone. It has been reported that Khalid wrote 2 emails to Dutch media outlets saying his sons were innocent and that he was fully responsible. Such a good father. He's taking care of his children.
Yeah, think about what he did. So he left town, went to a different country where he thinks he can hide and not be extradited and so on. And then writes saying, oh, by the way, my sons had nothing to do with it. So
you can't judge anybody.
Yep.
Before her death, Rayan had been monitored by police and provided protection. But this was ended soon before her murder.
They realized she was in danger, left her with the family, protected her for a while, kept an eye on her to make sure no one did anything, and then stopped.
And that's when they killed her. Newsur, a Dutch current affairs program, has reported that Khalid is now in northern Syria and has since remarried. There was some correspondence that was reported between the family members, which is also quite messed up because it shows that it's not just the father and the sons.
Oh, you're talking about everyone.
It's basically everyone involved. Let's see. Okay, here it goes into further detail. So, she was killed by drowning in water. She was tied up with 18 meters of tape, which contained the DNA of her father. This was reported by the Public Prosecution Services. On Friday, during the 3rd preliminary hearing in the case against Mohammed A.I.N., it's actually Al-N, Mohammed Al-N Al-Najjar, who are accused with their father of the murder. Prosecutors believe that Rayan was the victim of an honor killing. The body of a woman from Jura was found by an employee of the Staatsbosbeheer in the water on Gardik in Lelystad. Her father's cell material was found under the nails of 3 fingers, the prosecutor said in the court in Lelystad. That indicates she had resisted. Results of the investigation show that the victim's shoes had to have been taken off before she was tied up, as her ankles were taped together, according to the prosecutor. Her hands were tied up behind her back. Her mouth was also taped. The OM has stated that the taping was done by Rayan's father, 52-year-old, 'old, 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 The victim must have been restrained and so on. Both of her phones were thrown in the water. The phone cases were put in her shoes, which were also found in the water. The phone case found in the victim's left shoe contained a fingerprint belonging to her brother Mohammed, the prosecutor said. So that's how they know that they were all in on it. Prosecutors quoted conversations between the family members near the time of the murder. A conversation was found on Mohammed's phone between his brother and his father. Quote, "If she's lying and causing us to lose even more face, she must be punished." The brother said 12 days
That's what
before
the
the
brother
murder.
said.
So in this case,
I have to say, glad they're dumbasses who left all this evidence.
yeah. So she is accused of having a boyfriend. She denies it, but they suspect it further. So the idea is if she's lying and thereby prolonging this and causing us to incur even more shame upon us, shame, then she has to be punished. She has to be killed. This is the conversation between her brother and her father. This is how they're talking about the girl. This is a sick culture that has no place in the West. No place at all. Nobody should say otherwise. Rayan's family felt that she was acting in too much of a Western way. Ooh. The OM claimed that her family was wishing for her death in chat conversations. "I hope that she comes back in a box and she needs a bullet in her heart and poison in her body," are quotes from the conversations. Rayan's mother, even the mother, the woman, "God willing, we will see her wrapped in a shroud. Rayan is a disgrace to the family and deserves to die." This text is from her own mother. It's not just the men, you know. It's not just the father and the brothers. It's even the mother who says, "Yeah, God willing, we will see her wrapped in a shroud. She has to die. She's a disgrace to this family." This is the culture you're dealing with. What the hell do you expect? The family messages and statements suggest that they saw Rayan's Western lifestyle, such as dating a Dutch boy, not wearing a headscarf, as dishonorable. So, a Western lifestyle including dating a Dutch guy and not wearing the hijab. This is a pattern that is seen very, very often. Muslim girl does not wear the hijab and is then killed for it. But the next moment you will be told, "Oh yeah, no, it's hijab. No, it's nothing to do. No, it's your own choice. It's your own choice, man."
Yeah, and by the way, think about how screwed up this is. You got people like Lily J, all these other TikTok female apologists, all these TikTok lady dawa chicks, and they're all, we don't have to wear the hijab. It's our choice. It's our choice, and we choose not to. We choose not to. We've looked through it and we've concluded we don't have to. And then you've got girls in other parts of the world, or even girls in European countries, and they're encouraged. They're encouraged in the dawa world to listen to Lily J and all these TikTok influencers and so on. And so, hey, I don't have to wear the hijab either. And it's like, and it's an actual death sentence in their family.
At least 5 women a year in the Netherlands are thought to need heavy police protection from suspected honor killings. And reports suggest such crimes have risen sharply across Europe in the last 2 to 3 decades. Honor killings are also scarily common in the UK, with previous reports suggesting there's as many as one a month. In 2017, Céline Ducran, 20, was claimed to have been tied up with a duct tape and a rope before being bundled into a vehicle, with the court hearing she was murdered for starting a relationship. The teen and a friend in her 20s were then driven to a house being renovated where builder Mujahid Arshid, 33, allegedly raped them and fatally cut Celine's throat in an honor killing. Rania Alaya, 25, was killed by her estranged husband Ahmed Al-Khatib for being too westernized in June 2013. Nazar savagely murdered her in an honor killing at his brother's flat in Salford. The twisted monster then spun a web of lies to her family and friends, posing as if she was still alive. In May, a man who ordered the murder of his niece in an honor killing sued the ITV over claims he also sanctioned her rape. Ari Mahmoud is one of 5 men serving life in jail for the murder of 20-year-old Banaz Mahmoud after she left an abusive arranged marriage. She was raped by 3 of her cousins before being strangled. Raped by 3 of her cousins.
Yeah, you imagine you're gang raping your cousin, and your religion convinces you that she's the bad one in all of this because she had a boyfriend or something, or she refuses to be in a marriage you want, or she refuses this or that. She doesn't do what you say, and you gang rape her and then strangle her to death, and your religion convinces you you're the good guys there who are upholding the family honor.
He says honor murders are acceptable in his Iraqi Muslim culture, but rape accusations have destroyed his reputation. So think about it.
His poor reputation, man.
Poor reputation, man. Think about how sick this is. So they accuse her of damaging or harming their honor, as a result of which they take the opportunity and rape her, the own cousin, rape her, and then kill her. Rape her brutally and then strangle her to death. What great honor! Let's just admit it. Let's just say it that so much of this behavior is just an excuse to be horrible people, horrible individuals, absolutely horrible human beings. And of course, this culture and this religion provide a fantastic excuse just to do that. Now, to the average Western person, this might sound quite absurd. Had a boyfriend? In Muslim culture, this is something unacceptable. Okay, it's like Muslims genuinely feel a Muslim parent, a Muslim father, a Muslim brother generally feels infuriated and uncontrollable for anger about something like this, about her having a boyfriend. If the discussion even goes further and the boyfriend is a non-Muslim or something like that, it's even worse. It's such a sick and disgusting idea. I can't even begin to describe it because it's part of the culture. You have to be part of the culture in order to really understand what the heck goes on in these people's heads. But it's literally, it gets to such a stage that that the daughter is seen as something like the possession of this family, of the men in this family. So if the daughter is thought to be in a relationship with somebody, and it doesn't even have to be a sexual relationship, right? If she's simply in a love relationship or something like that with somebody, this to them feels like they're being, feels like they're I don't know, their wives are being raped or something like that. It's so and even worse, the level of anger and of disgust that they feel as a result of the indoctrination that comes from how Islam programs people is so big that they see this, a possible relationship or even a girl of their family talking to somebody without permission, they see this as a gross and huge violation. And it also really goes to some disgusting levels. Like they're jealous of other men talking to their sisters. For example, my sister is mine. She can't talk to other men. If she talks to other men, then I will kill those men. This is how it goes.
She's only allowed to talk to our first cousin.
It's all really messed up. And Turkey, for example, would be I wouldn't say, okay, I would say it's a milder form compared to some other Muslim countries, compared to Pakistan, for example, because in Pakistan you are basically, like, most marriages are simply between cousins. Over 60% of marriages in Pakistan are between cousins. So girls don't just go out and meet somebody and talk to them and then start a love relationship or something like that. They wait for their families to arrange their marriages with a cousin. So it's not even part of the culture. It is not expected. It is not something that is considered in any way acceptable, that a daughter would go outside and begin meeting, befriending, and have close relationships, close friendships, and other things with strangers. with their non-cousins. We're joking about it, but there's a really serious element to that. It is completely unbecoming and unacceptable to them. So if a girl is now on her own and she departs these customs of simply relying on her parents or her relatives arranging her marriage with her cousin and becoming further inbred, if she departs those values and on her own accord goes and talks to somebody, that is that is used as an excuse, as reason to control her, to beat her, to track down the other guy and beat him up and threaten him, or possibly just kill them both, or at least kill her. So it is very, very much entrenched in the culture. And I'm lengthily talking about this because for a Western person, it is really extremely difficult to grasp, to understand this. It's like, it doesn't make sense, and it's just this foreign element. But these people in these cultures, they are really brainwashed into feeling this way, not just thinking. They feel this way. A girl of the family talking to somebody causes uncontrollable anger and fear and violence in these people, in their culture. And this is why it's important to basically to point out that that it is the ideology, the belief system that is behind this, right? It's not these people. It's not like they have a racial element that makes them act this way. It is that the religion, Islam, provides for and makes these cultures. It programs people in such a way that they think about women, that they think about girls in this way, that they are in possession of their own girls, and they are in charge of those girls, and they are supposed to take action when the girl goes out of line and all that. This is very common in Muslim culture, and you really have to understand it to understand it. There is also a hadith, Sunan ibn Majah 2606. When the verse of legal punishments was revealed, it was said to Abu Thabit Sa'd ibn Ubadah, who was a jealous man, "If you found another man with your wife, what would you do?" He said, "I would strike them both with the sword. Do you think I should wait until I bring 4 witnesses and he has satisfied himself and gone away, or should I say I saw such and such?" Mention of this was made to the Prophet, and he said, "The sword is sufficient as a witness." So he said the sword is sufficient as a witness to this case. In another instance, he said that it is basically okay to be angry and to murder your wife and the other guy in such a case, because Allah is even more jealous than you are. Because I am more jealous and Allah is even more jealous. I'm gonna say it. You need to deport massive numbers of people to solve this problem.
It's not actually terribly difficult if people were simply willing to take the risk of being called Islamophobes, right? So suppose you're bringing in people from Pakistan or Afghanistan or whatever into your country. People think it's easy to beat lie detectors. No, it's not. You have to be very well trained to beat a lie detector or something like that. It's very simple. Hey, you want to come to the country? You want to come to the country? We're going to hook you up to a lie detector and ask you a couple questions. If your daughter were ever to get a boyfriend or something like that, do you believe you should kill her?
Simple.
Just a couple questions. Do you support this terrorist group? Do you support that terrorist? But you can't ask those kind of questions. At least not in any way where you could get a clear, honest answer, because that would be Islamophobic.